This is an interesting topic. What do you share or not share in your business? And what I mean that is what personal things do you share versus not share when you're in the sales world, especially as a real estate agent. This is something I think a lot of clients tend to struggle with because they don't want to give everything of themselves away. They want to reserve some things for themselves, but they hear time and time again, you need to be open, vulnerable, authentic. The keyword authentic is something like a buzzword you hear all the time in order to earn the know, like, trust pattern. And people want to do business with people that they know, like, and trust. I certainly do. I'm sure you do as well if you're watching this video. And in order to get to know someone and to get to like them and trust them, you kind of need to know information about them. And you kind of need to know more than just their name, where they live, or how they act, or how many houses they've sold, or what their marketing plan is. You want to know who this human being is that you're trusting in your home with your largest asset. And I'm saying this as a background because I think there is a misinterpretation of being authentic, being yourself, and sharing of yourself and connecting with someone. And then what I would call oversharing way too much information, which then actually can backfire on you in business and really turn people off. I'm gonna basically give my personal opinion on this. This is totally in my opinion. In my humble opinion, it is not a doctrine. I think you need to figure out for yourselves. That's the beauty of doing real estate or being an entrepreneur, 1099, working for yourself. You get to decide. You get to decide what type of business you want to run. You get to decide what type of owner you want to be. You get to decide how you want to sell homes, who you want to work with or not work with, who you want to serve. Do you want to do rentals? Do you want to do commercial? Do you want to do farm? Do you want to do multifamily? Do you want to do flips and investors? Or do you want to do residential sales? Do you want to do luxury? Do you want to do first-time buyers? Do you want to do military? There's so many avenues that real estate can kind of touch. You get to decide. That's the great thing about this business. It's the number one thing I tell people that work with me coaching wise. I'm a Tom Perry coach, for those of you that don't know. And often I get people that into my schedule that are newer that think they have to be the agent that their friend is or their colleague is in their office, or they have to come in and want to be the number one agent, or they have to beat so-and-so, or they see someone else up on stage running a huge team or having assistants and doing all these things, and now all of a sudden they have to do it because they see someone else have that. And they've never really sat still and quiet. Again, this is what we always talk about, and think about, what do you want? What do you really want? And I think when you figure out what you want, then you know what pieces of you to share in the business and what pieces of you to leave behind. There are certainly people that do business only with strangers. They only use online leads, bot leads. They geofarm, meaning they may do mailers or door knock or prospect neighborhoods so they can sell. Like, a lot of people have the realtor in their neighborhood. Sometimes they're not even living in the neighborhood, or they might be doing the zip code or the school district or the church, but you might not really know them. There's definitely people that, I've worked with that I had no idea had families. I had no idea that they did these things for hobbies because they kind of kept those things private. And I can see why. Because I think sometimes in our business, when you intertwine home selling, sales, and this is a lifestyle business, like, it's all encompassing. My whole family's involved. You see my children in videos and pictures. I'm on social sharing who I am because I want people to learn to know who I am and who I'm about so they can learn to trust me and work with me and trust me with their biggest asset. One thing you won't see me share is my political views. That's the number one thing I don't believe you should share. That, again, it's my opinion, and there are plenty of agents that share their opinions left and right, and that's great. Good for you. I just don't believe in that for myself, and I know that Tom Perry doesn't, because he stood on stage this year and said, keep your opinions to yourself. I just don't think that that's anybody's business, number one, and I don't think it's going to help me either way. So why am I going to post and make comments and make people feel bad on either side, or whatever side you're on? So that's the number one thing I say I don't share. Number two thing I don't share is deep personal things going on between family members and my husband and I, meaning if we have conflict or we're struggling with things. We'll be married 24 years this year and together 28 years. We're your typical couple. We have ups and downs. We have struggles. We've gone through so many things. We cared for his father until he passed away. We've had drama with our families, like everybody. And I just don't feel that I need to share that with everybody. I don't feel that people need to see that. I reserve that for a very close close circle of people I trust. That's it. Like a very close circle that's private, that has nothing to do with exposing it online and on the internet and telling everyone I know. And that's number two. So like my personal things going on in my family, sometimes my health issues. Like I had a battle of breast cancer back in 2019, and I made a decision to not post it. I made a decision not to share it online. My neighbors knew, my friends and family knew, people brought us beautiful meals. I went through multiple surgeries. It was a really scary time for me. And for those of you that share that, bravo, because I think that awareness needs to be had. But I made a decision for my business and for my life because I am the breadwinner and I did not want to be seen in a weak state. And I knew that that would impact my business. So I took precautions to make sure that my business would go as usual. I had a full-time assistant that was a fully licensed realtor. All of my business ran as usual. And I was actually working in my bed after surgeries. I was doing filming videos 1 week after surgeries. I really made it work, but I just, again, did not want to advertise to the world myself in my weakened state. And I can talk about it after because it's in the past and it's done and it's something I went through. And it was something that really changed me as a human and completely. And so that's why I share it. But I wasn't sharing all of that while I was going through it because I didn't think that I needed to share that to gain the trust and light to do business. That's a personal feeling. And so if you share it, good for you. I'm not judging you. Please don't feel that way. And if you think that I am, that's your opinion. But I'm just sharing that those are the things I don't share. So first of all, political views or opinions, I don't post them or share them or discuss them ever. Two would be my personal and private relationships and any conflict I'm having with them because they're private and they're personal. And I don't want to bring people into my personal drama and their opinions that don't belong there. And I don't want people to see me as unstable in that way because it's none of their business. And usually it's private and it's between our relationship. And when you start inviting people into your relationships, it can start stirring the pot and making it worse. And everybody has an opinion. And so those are big two things in my health, of course. I don't, any health drama or health issues. I've shared some things that have happened with my children just to show that, we go through things as parents and we're things that are challenging, but I'm not going to post constantly what's going on. And I've been raw and vulnerable. I did a Facebook Live at one point sharing a difficulty I had when Clover had some seizures and Sebastian was having some issues and then Rain was having, it was like everything at once basically. And I just was like, I can't do this. I felt so broken in that moment. And I shared that moment. I just shared that I felt so scared and alone, but it really wasn't about all the things happening to me. It was just the place I was at. So that's what I was sharing, the vulnerability of that place that I was at. So, when I say sharing health issues, it was that while I was battling things and going through surgeries, I didn't want to advertise it to the world. And I didn't want the sad eyes. I didn't want the pity. And I didn't want people to think I wasn't capable of handling business. So those are my big three. The last one is controversial. I just don't like to share things that show me in a light that's not my true identity. Example, I love to hang out with friends. I love to have a good time. I'll love to go dancing and have fun. And you'll see me once in a blue moon do that. But you will never see me acting a fool, is what they say. I will never be being inappropriate in a place that's not appropriate because I am married. And if you want to do that again, I just did a video on playing small and not being judged. Like, that's you. Like, you got to own it and do it. But for myself, like, we all have a past and a history, but right now where I am in my life, I just won't show that right now because of what I'm trying to do in business. And I have a very colorful past in life. And one of these days, maybe I'll go into it, but I'm not someone that's going to advertise that now because, again, the trust pattern is so important in business and people are entrusting their homes with you. So if you're a real estate agent, just kind of keep that mindful. I know for those young folks that are out here watching, young girls, young women, a lot of employers look to see what you're doing on your socials before they'll even bring you in for that second interview. I know a lot of team leads do that well and brokerage owners because it is a reflection on their business if you are doing things that are inappropriate in their mind in the business world. It's not the way it used to be. I'm a Gen Xer where you could kind of do whatever you wanted and it was never captured, so nobody had proof is what we said, so you could have a good old time. But looking in life now, it's not about not having fun. It's about having fun, enjoying life, living your full truth, but knowing what to share. We're talking about sharing and what would be considered an oversharing. And those are the two different lanes you have to think about. Is this something that's going to help me in my business, or is this something that's going to hurt me in my business? And I saw someone say something once, if it's educational, if it's entertaining, like funny, if it's funny, and if it's something that's inspirational, motivational, those are the 4 things you want to post. Otherwise, tap out. You know, people love to see animals and their families and children in joyful moments. And just remember, don't be a Debbie Downer. Don't be someone that's negative, because that's a very low vibration. And if you're trying to do great business and attract amazing clients and you're always complaining and posting negative things and feel sorry for me posts, you're probably not going to attract the people that you want in your business. So that's my last little tidbit. So think about what you're sharing and what you're oversharing, and maybe make a change and a shift, and you'll be surprised to see your influence change online because of what you decide to share and not share. Hope that's helpful. Love to know what your opinions are on sharing and oversharing. And I'm just curious. And if you like this content, please like it and subscribe. And until next time, thrive in life, and I'll see you soon.